So, you're thinking about getting a cat. A lot of us have been there, right? You picture the purrs, the cuddles, that perfect little companion curled up on the couch. But what does it really take to turn that dream into a happy, healthy, lifelong reality for both of you? Well, that's exactly what we're going to break down today. Let's be honest, it is so easy to fall for them. This quote just nails that initial pull. You see a picture online, you meet a friend's cat, and bam, suddenly you're picturing one in your own life. The appeal is just, it's undeniable. They seem like the perfect, maybe even low-maintenance pet. But here it is. This is the crucial question we absolutely have to ask ourselves. Once you get past the cuteness, what is the real commitment here? We're talking about a living, breathing creature that's going to depend on you for everything, for its entire life. So let's peel back the layers and see what that actually looks like. First up, let's just indulge in that dream for a second. What are we all looking for when we think about getting a cat? It usually comes down to their personality, that companionship, and all those charming little quirks. To get a better picture, let's look at two super popular breeds that people often imagine as that perfect companion. Okay, so on one hand, you've got the ragdoll. I mean, they're literally called floppy cats because they often just go limp with relaxation when you pick them up. They're famous for having this almost puppy-like devotion, following you from room to room. Then on the other hand, you have the Siamese, these intelligent, social extroverts who are known for being incredibly affectionate and, well, chatty. They often form this super tight bond with one person. These are the kinds of traits we dream about, right?
But hold on. Here's our first big dose of reality. A breed like the ragdoll, they've got an average lifespan of 15 to 20 years. That's not a short-term limit, you guys. That is a multi-decade commitment. Thinking about that one number, it changes the entire equation.
And that commitment brings us to a huge reality check: the money. You know, loving a cat is free, but providing for one, that is not. The financial side of things is one of the most significant and honestly one of the most underestimated parts of owning a pet. So how much are we really talking about? Well, according to data from Rover.com, just in the first year alone, all the upfront costs of bringing a cat home can hit as high as $2,715. And that's everything: adoption fees, initial vet visits, all the essential supplies, the works. And it doesn't just stop there. After that first year, you can expect to spend up to $3,495 every single year on your adult cat. This is the ongoing cost of things like food, litter, routine vet care, and everything else.
So what's the grand total? Over that 15 to 20-year lifespan, the total cost of owning a cat can soar to $61,520. Whoa! Seeing that number really puts the decision into a whole new perspective. This is a major, major financial commitment.
Now, what's really fascinating about this slide is seeing where all that money goes. Just look at the huge range between the low and the high estimates. It shows that the choices you make have a massive impact. Up front, getting a fancy high-tech litter box or a giant cat tree can really drive up those supply costs. And then every year, choosing premium food or getting comprehensive pet insurance can seriously increase your budget. The key takeaway here is that you do have some control, but even the low-end estimates really add up over time. Money is a huge piece of the puzzle, for sure, but it is not the only piece. Beyond the financial costs, there's another massive responsibility, especially if you have an indoor cat. We have to think about the worlds we're creating for them, because for an indoor cat, your home, well, that's their entire universe. This quote from a study published by the National Institutes of Health is really powerful and maybe a little startling. It frames our role not just as owners, but as caretakers of a captive animal. And that means we have this profound responsibility to make their environment enriching and fulfilling, not just four walls and a roof. So the NIH researchers actually suggest a framework for this. To make sure an indoor cat's welfare is taken care of, we can't just provide food and a bed. No, we have to thoughtfully design an environment that caters to 5 distinct, essential systems of their well-being. And here they are. It's a really holistic approach. You've got the physical system, that means safe spaces and high-up perches. The nutritional system is way more than just a bowl of kibble. The elimination system is all about clean, properly placed litter boxes. The social system covers their interactions with you and other pets. And finally, the behavioral system. That means giving them outlets for all their natural instincts. If you get any one of these wrong, it can lead to stress and a ton of behavioral problems.
Okay, let's just zoom in on one of these for a second, the nutritional system. A proactive approach here means actually understanding their biology. Cats out in the wild are solitary hunters, and they eat something like 8 to 16 small meals a day. They have to work for their food. Just putting down 2 big meals in a bowl doesn't satisfy that instinct at all. Things like puzzle feeders or automated feeders that dispense small portions all day, that can mimic their natural hunting behavior, and it provides crucial mental and physical stimulation.
All right, so we've covered the cost, and we've covered the environment. But the commitment also involves managing their health and their behavior over their entire life. Because, as any experienced cat owner will tell you, things don't always go according to the plan. So what do you do when that dream companion, that puppy-like ragdoll or that extroverted Siamese starts developing behavioral issues? This is a reality that so many pet owners face, and it's a real test of that lifelong commitment we've been talking about. Let's take destructive scratching. It's one of the most common complaints out there. It's so easy to see this as your cat just being bad, but the ASPCA is super clear about this. Scratching is a completely natural and necessary behavior for cats. They do it to keep their claws healthy and to mark their territory. So the goal isn't to stop the behavior, it's to redirect it. And this just perfectly illustrates our role as problem solvers. The solution involves understanding what the cat needs. You provide appealing, sturdy scratching posts right where they like to hang out. You keep their claws maintained with regular trimming. And if you need to, you can use temporary fixes like nail caps. See? It's all about management and providing a proper outlet, not about punishment. And this brings us right back to that core idea, really the central message of this whole explainer. Every single decision, from your budget to the layout of your home to how you handle a behavioral issue, it all stems from this fundamental responsibility. Their well-being is directly tied to the world that you build for them. So here's the crucial takeaway. Getting a cat isn't just about getting a pet. It's about becoming the architect of an animal's entire world. It requires you to be a provider, an environmental designer, a behaviorist, and a lifelong companion. The real question isn't just, do you want a cat? It's, are you ready to build a kingdom for your captive?